The story begins with a frantic scream from the palace depths. A trembling official points at the empty gates, sweat pouring down. Concubine Lin has vanished in a black smoke. In the grand hall, the official hysterically blames the demon concubine for offending the immortals. The emperor, seated high above, agrees weakly, exposing his manipulated frailty. Senior sister, thoughts? Before Xiao Yifeng finishes, Lu Hanyin blurs into motion. With a sharp crack, her decisive kick sends the blathering accuser flying, answering with action. Amidst the shock, Xiao Yifeng stands sideways, his tone playful yet undeniable. Since the emperor accidentally hit his sister's hand, they'll call it even, challenging the imperial immortal to object. Leaving the hypocritically smiling official behind, the duo exits the palace. Lu Hanyin shakes her hand, savoring the moment. Slapping that wretched emperor felt incredibly satisfying. Asking around leads to dead ends. No one knows Xiao Tian. Xiao Yifeng rubs his chin, golden light flickering in his eyes. Has his timeline diverged completely from his memories? Memories of his past life friend, gifting the jade key surface. Xiao Yifeng clenches his fist. Though the friend is missing, he refuses to miss this destiny-altering opportunity again. His gaze locks onto the bustling brothel, the only place left unchecked. Meanwhile, high above in the flying snow temple, a vast energy stirs within the clouds. The temple doors creep open. The Guanghan temple master steps out barefoot, majestic yet weary. Ordering elixirs, she feels a hidden anxiety about the ice heart technique he cultivates. Thinking of her low cultivation husband, the icy master blushes like a maiden, tempted to peek. Cut to her avatar, Lu Hanyin, boldly dragging Xiao Yifeng to raid a brothel. The moment her consciousness connects, she's greeted by flirting brothel girls. High in the temple, her main body flushes crimson, stammering in shock at this outrageous scene. The trio under cherry blossoms contrasts with the solitary temple high above. The gears of fate continue to turn in the twilight of the Yuanhai capital. The disciple rushes in with elixirs, only to face a closed door again. The master's sudden return to seclusion leaves the disciple bewildered, staring at the do not disturb sign in confusion. Why won't you take me? Facing her question, Xiao Yifeng points out the no women rule. Suddenly, Lu Hanyin freezes. A presence descends, an overwhelming drowsiness claims her instantly. Eyes snap open, her aura is subtly shifted. Ignoring Xiao Yifeng's warning, she marches toward the forbidden door, her gaze radiating undeniable dominance. I just need to get in, right? The purple-haired guard blocks their path, demanding a VIP pass. Xiao Yifeng smirks, a flaming dagger igniting in his palm, his gaze piercing. Is this pass valid enough? Intimidated by force, the guard tries to block Lu Hanyin, but senior sister drops a bombshell, claiming she only prefers women. The guard, flustered and shocked, awkwardly lets them pass. Entering the hall, Xiao Yifeng eyes his sister suspiciously. She's acting strangely today. Before he can dwell on it, the maid Xiao Qing guides them to a private room, her glance hinting at an awkward misunderstanding. Xiao Qing eagerly explains the buzz. The courtesan Euro is debuting. Hearing that name, Xiao Yifeng's pupils constrict, struck by lightning. Could it be her? Simultaneously, Lu Hanyin senses the terrifying pressure behind that name. Xiao Yifeng breaks into a cold sweat, panic rising. This city's first beauty might be more dangerous than any beast. Flustered by his senior sister's teasing, Xiao Yifeng vehemently denies his feelings, though his blushing face betrays the truth. Memories flood back, revealing the blood-soaked past where he and his sworn brother, Xiao Tan, fought side by side against death itself. It is a pain that never fades, his best friend dying in his arms, entrusting his beloved Euro to Xiao Yifeng with his final breath. Snapping back to reality, the beauty named Euro takes the stage, announcing she seeks a kindred spirit through her music, silencing the crowd. Su Miaoqing's command to win this ignites a fire within him. He slams his hand on the railing, eyes burning with sudden determination. When asked about his musical skills, a faint smile plays on his lips. His humble reply hides a lifetime of mastery and sorrow. Modifying an old melody, the notes flow from the zither, captivating the audience and filling the hall with a heavenly sound. The maid presents the score. One glance is all it takes for Euro to be moved, announcing she will perform this unique masterpiece herself. As the ethereal melody resonates, the lyrics about an unattainable goddess shock Su Miaoqing, revealing the depth of his hidden heart. Leaning against the railing, he pours his grief for his friend into the song, while her zither responds, as if she too is proving her love to a distant soul. The song ends, and Yuro, unable to hide her emotion, publicly invites guest number 25 to her chambers, stunning the crowd. Just as he moves to accept the invitation, a group of jealous rivals blocks his path, barking insults and refusing to let him pass. Facing the insult that the song is for dogs, Su Miaoqing retorts with a sharp smile, the air crackling with the tension of an imminent clash. Chaos erupts outside as the jealous mob, deaf to reason, clamors to break in and teach the upstart a lesson. With twisted faces, they scream for him to kneel and beg for mercy, their words dripping with malicious, lethal intent. After a cacophony of crashes and thuds, silence falls. Yuro pushes the door open, expecting to find corpse. She peeks in cautiously, heart racing, wondering if the figure before her is the one she has been longing for. Standing unscathed amidst his defeated foes, Xiao Yifeng asks for Xiao Tian, only to be met with a confused look and a stranger's name, Zhang Tianji. Though the names differ, the bond is real. Shock washes over them both as the mention of Zhang Tianji finally connects their fractured pasts. Xiao Yifeng caresses the prisoner's face through the barrier with a chillingly gentle smile. Under silent pressure, the man breaks, screaming out the truth about the elder's plot. Hearing entangling pavilion, Xiao Yifeng's gaze turns cold. Recognizing the evil sect that uses men as cultivation vessels, he instantly grasps the dirty truth behind the prisoner's drained vitality. Exposing the disciples' drained state strikes terror into him. He frantically spills the plan to capture Yuro for her talents, but Xiao Yifeng only cares about Zhang Tianji's whereabouts. As the disciple begs for mercy, revealing the elder is at the prince's mansion, Xiao Yifeng spares him. He instructs Yuro to leave first, intending to face the looming danger alone. Su Miaoqing pins him down in anger, but Xiao Yifeng instantly plays the submissive servant. Using her father's name, he effortlessly manipulates the fiery senior sister. Just as she tries to lecture him, her strength fails. She collapses into Xiao Yifeng's arms, her arrogance instantly replaced by sudden, alarming weakness. Meanwhile, far away in the Cold Moon Palace, the mighty fairy frowns. Her connection to the Avatar is severed, and a wave of unease spreads through the empty hall. Realizing the jade puppet has reached its limit, she sighs, worrying if her message got through. Meanwhile, the disconnected Avatar foams at the mouth, looking utterly ridiculous. Clutching the drained artifact, Xiao Yifeng improvises. Facing the confused senior sister, he casually lies that she fell asleep in the brothel to cover his tracks. As Su Miaoqing throws a tantrum about missing the show, Xiao Yifeng rubs his temples. He calls in Yuro, hoping to shift the chaotic atmosphere. Always respectful greeting, Shak Su Miaoqing. Her guess that this is her sister-in-law makes Xiao Yifeng sweat bullets, frantically denying the misunderstanding. Putting misunderstandings aside, the trio focuses on the mission. Under the cover of night, Xiao Yifeng and Yuro streak across the rooftops, heading toward their dangerous target. Overlooking the heavily guarded mansion, Xiao Yifeng realizes the man he failed to recognize was his old friend. Guilt fuels his resolve as he locks onto the target. Yuro volunteers to create a diversion, her confident smile easing Xiao Yifeng's worry. A shared glance under the moon seals their plan. She strikes, he infiltrates. A deafening explosion tears through the night. Seeing the chaos, Xiao Yifeng smiles wryly. He trusts that his powerful wife's avatar can handle the heat she just created. Slipping in amidst the chaos, Xiao Yifeng moves like a ghost. Before pushing open the red doors, he steels himself, eyes flashing cold, ready for a brutal fight. Inside, the prince flirts shamelessly with the seductive witch. The spy watches in shock, but the woman's eyes flash purple. She senses the intruder. Silhouettes dance on the window paper as lewd whispers drift out. The shameless flirting pierces the night's silence, forcing the listener outside to hold their breath. As the witch urges the prince to kill his father, a sarcastic voice interrupts their plotting. What a loving family. The prince's greed instantly turns to panic. Xiao Yifeng lands gracefully. Ignoring the prince's bluster, he leans against the doorframe, casually demanding the entangling pavilion, which, his eyes hiding lethal intent. Under flickering candlelight, the purple-haired woman rests her chin on her hand, deflecting his questions with a flirtatious gaze. The man sneers, summoning a sickly green orb in his palm, instantly freezing the ambiguous atmosphere into cold, murderous intent. In the square, the man displays compromising images, issuing a naked threat to expose them. Meanwhile, inside, The official's composure shatters. Waving his hands frantically, he betrays everything in a desperate bid for self-preservation. Prince Dayun pinches the 7-day, soul-severing powder between his fingers, his tone terrifyingly calm. The blue-robed man's pupils constrict violently as he covers his mouth, consumed by the primal fear of his organs rotting into blood. Tempted by the antidote, the blue-robed man has no choice but to submit, forcing a smile as he agrees to lead the way. Facing the woman's moral questioning, Dayun scoffs dismissively. Having never claimed righteousness, he fears no despicable method. In the gloomy cell, Princess Yuge is bound to a cross, blindfolded. Hearing that familiar voice warning the kidnapper, the corners of her lips curve upward, a spark of hope igniting in her heart. Is that you, benefactor? With a crisp snap, the seal shatters. Xiao Yifeng scoops up the weak princess, his gaze ironclad. Behind him, the purple-haired man panics instantly, fists clenching. He cares nothing for her life, only for the life-saving antidote. Watching Xiao Yifeng leave, the purple-haired man grinds his teeth, vowing revenge once he ascends the throne. Yet before his rage subsides, a sudden anomaly in the sky forces him to look up in shock. The city is ablaze with lights as people cheer for the royal wedding, but the noise only agitates Dayun. Cold hatred surges in his eyes. Beneath the festive fireworks, he has just lost all his leverage. Night winds brush past, as Xiao Yifeng flies through the air with the princess. When asked about flying, she recalls seeking medical help with a Taoist priest, bringing a rare moment of tranquility to their tense escape. Learning that the benefactor priest was imprisoned by the 100 Moon sect for saving her brother, Xiao Yifeng hesitates, not for a moment. With a burning gaze, he speeds toward the village shrouded in blue light. If there is a debt, he will settle it. Gazing at the towering gates, the princess marvels at their magnificence, while Xiao Yifeng disdainfully mocks the place as shabby. Before his words fade, he descends like a meteor, landing with a deafening boom. Facing the angry shouts and encirclement of the 100 Moon sect, Xiao Yifeng acts as if nothing happened. Straightening his clothes, he announces himself as Xiao Yifeng of the Sky sect, his tone humble to the point of provocation. Outnumbered, the lead cultivator radiates aggression. Yet, Xiao Yifeng smiles calmly at the princess behind him, admitting he can't defeat the whole sect, but the cunning glint in his eyes suggests saving people sometimes relies on wits. Just as tensions peak, Xiao Yifeng suddenly suppresses his aura, confidently offering to show the imperial immortal a treasure. The cultivator opposite him, golden blade in hand, curls his lip in contempt, ready to see what tricks he has up his sleeve. The next second, the cultivator's hands tremble as he holds the high-grade talisman, his face full of disbelief. Xiao Yifeng, however, casually tosses out a sack of the same divine items, asking him to dispose of them like trash, a display of wealth so casual it's suffocating. Before they can recover, Xiao Yifeng casually pulls out a medium-grade magic artifact, a treasure on par with their sect's greatest heirloom. Watching him distribute these rare treasures as scraps, the mental defenses of the sect disciples utterly collapse. The lead Taoist coughs pretentiously, trying to maintain a shred of dignity, while an oblivious disciple still screams that it's junk. Xiao Yifeng touches his cheek, his smile deepening. The feeling of crushing people with wealth is truly satisfying. The power of money is instantaneous. The high-ranking disciple changes his tune immediately, screaming at his subordinate. The young disciple, bewildered, is forced to play along and bite the bullet, accepting the blame for breaking the mountain gate. Watching the leader, who was just out for blood, now bowing and scraping with a plastered smile, Xiao Yifeng can't help but tease. By comparison, I really preferred your rebellious look from earlier. In the darkness, her eyes widen in sheer terror, a chill crawling down her spine as if foreseeing an abyss of horror. The scene shifts to a solemn courtyard. Everyone holds their breath, staring in disbelief at the young man who returns from a fierce battle, completely unscathed. Crisis still looms. Xiao Yifeng swiftly arranges the next move, decisive in the face of the guilt-ridden Taoist Baiken, urging an immediate aerial departure. Hand seals form, and blue light erupts. The massive spirit snake Xiao Bing roars into existence, coiling in the air with heart-stopping pressure. Peak foundation, no golden core? The elder sweats coldly, while disciples stand agape, thoroughly awed by this overwhelming display of power. Faces twist in jealousy, screaming at the unfairness of fate. Meanwhile, high above, the giant snake pierces the clouds, leaving the noise far behind. Amidst the vast sky, the peaceful flight is shattered. Xiao Bing growls a warning, and Xiao Yifeng's heart tightens. Danger is silently closing in. Stop hiding. At a cold command, the air ripples. A woman in purple emerges elegantly, blocking their path with the gaze of a hunter eyeing her prey. Taoist Baiken turns pale, golden core realm. Standoff in the clouds, the air freezes. Xiao Yifeng, startled but calm, tries to negotiate. She smiles beautifully but speaks with undeniable dominance, intending to capture Xiao Yifeng as well. Facing the temptation, he refuses firmly. Despair descends. Two more figures emerge. Three golden core experts form an encirclement. This is no recruitment, but a deadly hunt. Negotiations break, killing intent erupts. Facing overwhelming pressure, Xiao Yifeng hesitates no more, commanding Xiao Bing to strike first. Beams tear through the sky. The giant snake weaves through a hail of attacks. Every dodge brushes against death as the battle instantly ignites. High above, the failed witch endures ruthless mockery from her peers. Arrogant and poised, they play like cats with a mouse, certain the prey cannot escape. Meanwhile, from the shadows of another dimension, a threatening and mocking warning seems to echo, sending chills down the spine. Streaks of light pierce the heavens. Xiao Yifeng and the others, daring not to linger, accelerate with all their might, attempting to break out. We can't shake them. Xiao Yifeng looks grim. With killing intent clinging like a curse, a look of grim determination flashes in the injured Taoist's eyes. Better to fight than wait for death. The elder laughs wildly at the sky, a sound of heroic defiance as he decides to burn his life force to cover their escape. A tragic farewell. Xiao Yifeng gifts a top-grade artifact. The elder accepts solemnly. For the princess, for righteousness, he will stain the sky red with his final power. They split up. The elder turns to face the enemy, while Xiao Yifeng flees on the dragon, holding back tears. The witches notice, and the relentless chase begins anew. Eyes burning with rage, Su Miaoqing streaks through the sky like a pink comet, vowing to shred the cowardly enemy who dares to use diversion tactics. Reflecting on a lifetime of mediocrity, Taoist Baiken smiles tragically at the overpowering foe, his eyes burning with a final madness as he chooses to ignite his very soul. Burn it all. Taoist Baiken laughs maniacally as he sacrifices his essence, becoming a final firework in the sky, while his companion watches through blurred tears, heart shattered. Witnessing the Taoist's sacrifice, the crown prince sheds his hesitation. Clenching his fists, the dormant dragon within him roars to life, fueled by the tragic fire in his eyes. Fire crow formation rise. The prince roars, and as the crimson banner snaps in the wind, countless flame crows erupt, forging a searing fortress around him. After gently comforting his terrified sister, the prince sits cross-legged in the eye of the storm. Surrounded by enemies, he must force a breakthrough now. It is their only hope. Golden light envelopes the prince as energy ripples through the air. But on the horizon, terrifying silhouettes approach rapidly, bringing the stench of death and imminent crisis. Quite the tortoise shell. Two enchanting witches gaze down at the formation with mocking eyes, and as a third accomplice arrives, the net of slaughter is fully cast. Three golden core witches stand side by side, their terrifying pressure crushing down like a tide. They smirk cruelly at their trapped prey, ready to savor the slaughter. Standing proudly atop the peak, the purple-clad witch glares down coldly, her voice dripping with undeniable authority and impatience. You're finally here. Did you catch the boy? Listen up inside. The green-clad witch hovers, blue destruction gathering at her fingertips, her voice shrinking. Drop the formation now, or your dragon prince dies instantly. Blue energy chains dig deep into his flesh. Face twisted in agony, the prince still screams with all his might. Benefactor, take Yugo and run. Leave me. Have it the hard way then. The witch sneers and strikes. Yugo screams for her brother in despair before a deafening explosion swallows the entire view. Just in the nick of time, golden flames descend from the heavens. The pink-haired Xiao Bing appears bathed in divine fire, mocking coldly. A golden core cultivator bullying mortals? Shameless. Facing three powerful foes, Xiao Bing taps her finger with utter disdain. Sensing the threat, the witches drop their mockery, uniting to crush this sudden interloper. Fan Tian Seal, suppress. Xiao Bing activates a high-grade talisman, trapping the trio in a golden cage. The witches, startled but calm, stare venomously at the barrier, waiting for the power to fade. The battle pauses as Xiao Yifeng finally arrives. Sensing the lingering, sharp aura around him, the group is relieved yet puzzled. Did he break through in the heat of danger? I had no choice. 3 golden cores were waiting. Xiao Yifeng smiles wryly, then turns serious, asking the crucial question. Why exactly are these witches hunting you so relentlessly? Coughing painfully, the prince mentions the sword immortal pendant. Yugu pauses, then tremblingly reveals an ancient jade piece. Father only said this was a dowry. Could it be? Xiao Yifeng's pupil's contract. The key to the immortal palace he's been searching for is right here. But before he can react, a deafening blast rocks the forest. The witches have broken free and are charging with murderous intent. High above, the 3 elders unleash a devastating bombardment that shakes the very earth. Seeing the danger, Xiao Bing's gaze hardens. Ignoring Xiao Yifeng's worried cry, she prepares to charge into the storm to buy them time. Seizing the moment, Xiao Yifeng commands the white snake to hold the line while he breaks the formation. The beast's entry plunges the battlefield into chaos, with screams and roars echoing as the enemies are caught off guard by the sudden counterattack.